today we are going to drive on the Bangalore Chennai Expressway, which is the National Expressway 7. We are right after the entrance at Hosakote. So I heard that the latest stretch from Venkatagirikota to Baireddipalle has opened. So we'll just check how the road is today, because it is going to certainly add some additional kilometers to the existing expressway, which was about 70 kilometers already functional. The stretch from Venkatagirikota till Baireddipalle has opened a couple of days, and that's official. So I'm just trying to drive on this stretch today to see how the roads are beyond Venkatagirikota. The last time I drove on this highway was in the third week of December. So I have actually set the adaptive cruise control to 100 kilometers per hour. So the toll booth is approaching. It's about 2 kilometers from where we are right now. I don't know why it's not working. There you go. Because after I renewed the annual pass just before the Hosakote toll plaza of STRR, I did cross the toll, and the amount deducted, or rather the validation of my FASTag was through the annual pass, and that means no money was deducted. So if that worked, then this had to work. So I'm pretty sure there was some glitch on the scanner in the lane that I passed through just now. Not much traffic, although I can certainly say that due to the extended weekend, there are some cars, and I'm very sure that these cars must be headed to Tirupati, most of them. And also this is now the most sought after route to head to Chennai as well, because soon after this expressway ends, you get to drive on the Bangalore-Chittoor road, and from Chittoor you can get on to the Chittoor-Thachur Expressway, which is around 100 kilometers, and that kind of helps you to connect to Chennai in an efficient manner, because you get quite some stretch of expressway on this one where I'm driving right now, and then another 100 on the Chittoor-Thachur highway. So I don't think the rest area on this expressway has opened, so it's status quo, because there's a lot of construction still pending here, as I can see on the left side. Nothing has come up as such, right? So you can see all of this, although the land is being flattened, and I can see some construction, maybe a fuel station or something, but there is not even the exit and merging road which is functional right now. So I believe it is going to take a while before anything comes up. So that's advice, that if you're taking up a journey on this expressway, assuming you will be taking a break somewhere or even refilling your vehicle's tank, please be noted that there will be no fuel stations anywhere on this till you exit onto the other side. So just be careful about that. So done about 65 kilometers and approaching the Venkatagirikota exit. This was the exit that was functional till now, where the expressway ended abruptly, because there was work in progress section after this. Now we will see today if we can drive beyond this, as per a lot of sources that I have been reading and watching about. So the way it looks to me, I don't see any kind of blocks ahead. The road seems like it is continuing ahead beyond this exit. Yeah, it is. So earlier there were blocks here, where you see one red block right now, and we had to exit on the left towards Venkatagirikota. Now from here onwards, this is the new section, right? So this is recently opened up officially, I think maybe a week or two. So let us see how many kilometers is this, because my distance, if you can see here, it is 66.7 kilometers since I reset this at the beginning of the expressway. So let's see how long is this section. And of course this is the new tarmac that we are driving. Can't say new because I know that unofficially there were many vehicles driven on this even before a week back. So I can already make out that vehicles have been traveling on this since a while now. Nevertheless, not much change from the surface that I drove from Hosakote side till Venkatagirikota. It continues, it's the same. Now what I've been thinking is, because of this new stretch that just opened, there will be less takers for the Venkatagirikota exit, because even if you want to go to Tirupati, for example, you could still continue straight at Baireddipalle and then reach Chittoor and then take the Chittoor-Tirupati highway. Whereas earlier you had to get out at Venkatagirikota, drive on about 15 kilometer stretch of I think it was a state highway which would go and connect to Mulbagal, or the other option was to drive into Venkatagirikota and then merge with the Chittoor highway little ahead. So both the options were there, but of course the less painful one was the one through Venkatagirikota, which would connect you to the Chittoor highway, because the 15 kilometer stretch from the Venkatagirikota toll exit till Mulbagal bypass, that was not great. The progress on that was slow, and the surface of that road was also not that great. There were potholes here and there. So the faster option, of course, was the other one. So far so good. I see there are no vehicles anymore on this road. So either most of the vehicles who are taking this road were headed towards Tirupati and they're not aware that this stretch is opened, or some other reason, maybe they have to pay additional toll if they take the other exit. I don't know, but certainly you do not see any vehicles right now. So I guess that would be the same when I make a U-turn at the Baireddipalle toll and start driving back. Most likely the motorists don't know that this stretch is also functional now, and they can continue to drive ahead and still have a choice of getting into Chittoor and then drive towards Tirupati, or even continue their drive towards Chennai by taking the Chittoor-Thachur Expressway. But so far so good. I think the road's been done well. Continues to be the same as the previous stretch, so no complaints so far, although there are undulations every time you are taking these bridges. Not something that you need to bother about. And yeah, I do see here that the Andhra border checkpost is 500 meters ahead. Yeah, so till now we were on whatever functional part of the expressway we were driving. There was no interstate border checkpost, but you can see that now that there are signages for border checkposts, primarily applicable for trucks and commercial vehicles, especially the taxis and cabs. Yeah, this is the border checkpost. I don't see this functional, right, because there's no barricade, there are no buildings which are functioning right now. You just see a small building there, but might be in future it might become operational. And yeah, you could notice in the map as well, it doesn't show me any road whatsoever, right? So that's because it's newly opened and Google Map has not updated it. So when more number of motorists would travel, it would pick up those details, and rather it would pick up that data and update the maps accordingly. So let me try putting on the satellite mode, and you would be able to find this. Yeah, so I put on satellite mode, it's just loading. Maybe there's not enough data bandwidth here, but you could see that here, right? So the road is showing up, and it actually shows up the lane markers as well. So soon this should be able to get displayed for navigation for the users of Google Maps. So we've driven about 18 kilometers so far beyond the Venkatagirikota Exit. So I believe this is a considerable extension to the already functional stretch from Hosakote till Venkatagirikota, which I think was about 70 kilometers. And yeah, the map continues to show me the road in satellite mode, although in between it did get confused seeing my car being driven on this road, and it kept pushing my car back to the road which is around it. And just so you know, it's showing the indicated GPS speed of 89, which is pretty much correct. I was about little above 90, and that means that the speed cameras are functional even on the stretch beyond Venkatagirikota. So it's a fully functional expressway, you can say, although I can see a board for fuel stations and rest area. I don't think that there is anything that is open as yet, because you noticed even a little before this I was showing you the rest area, which was only a marked exit, but there was nothing that had come up there. So yeah, and I can notice here that it also indicates me to exit for Baireddipalle, which means we have officially come to the end of this expressway. Yeah, so this is the end of the functional part of the expressway. We've done about 90 kilometers, precisely 91 from the Hosakote interchange, or a little after Hosakote interchange, where I reset this trip meter. So yeah, so if you notice the additional kilometers that we drove beyond the Venkatagirikota exit, it's about 20 kilometers, not more than that. So yeah, because the Venkatagirikota exit was showing 66 kilometers on the trip meter, and this is 91, so little about 20 kilometers. We will try to drive a little ahead till the Krishnagiri Palamner highway, as I can see here, and then take a U-turn and come back. I think I noticed a set of barricades there, so that's the reason why I asked whether it's functional or not. And also I did not notice any cars or vehicles on the opposite lanes, so that's exactly why I was checking with them if it is. So after getting down from the expressway, I started to drive towards Venkatagirikota just for a while, and then made a U-turn just a while back at a small village, and again heading back towards the beginning of the now functional expressway at Baireddipalle. And I'm going to just get onto the expressway and start to drive towards Bangalore again. So you can see that there are signages for going to Chennai or Bengaluru via the new section of NE7 from Baireddipalle. You can see that here. And if you continue straight, then you would go to Palamner. I noticed the milestone for Chittoor, which said 69 kilometers. So after you get down from the expressway at Baireddipalle while coming from Bangalore, Chittoor is about 60 odd kilometers, around 65, and that's where it connects you back to the Bangalore Kolar Chittoor highway, and then you could either continue towards Ranipet and go to Chennai on the traditional road, or you take the Chittoor Thachur highway, which is the newly opened highway. And of course, if you want to go to Tirupati, then you take the Chittoor Tirupati road. So the map, as I told earlier, still doesn't display the route for Chennai. So this seems like the official entry for the expressway, because the signages are more frequent now. So I believe the entrance should be somewhere very close, and I do see some signages ahead, which restricts two-wheelers, tractors and other sort of vehicles which are not allowed on the expressway. So yeah, so this is the entrance for the expressway towards Bangalore when you're coming from Venkatagirikota side. Yeah, so if you take left, it is going to take you to Bangalore, and obviously the section after Baireddipalle towards Chennai is still not functional, so that is the reason why you see that it is blocked. But this is the section which continues towards Bangalore for 20 kilometers, and then you will be driving on to the existing section of the expressway from Venkatagirikota onwards. So yeah, this section is fully functional now. Yeah, one more signage for yet another rest area, and I don't think it's functional as yet. So you can see the signages here. Bangalore is 124 kilometers from here, which is the city center, and of course the expressway length itself was around 90. So yeah, around 34 kilometers for you to enter the city center from the end of the expressway. And on my left you see the land is being flattened for the construction of the rest area and fuel stations as well. I see some tanks the underground tanks which will be part of the fuel station. So I believe there should be fuel stations coming up pretty soon here, right? And it makes sense because this is the beginning of the expressway and people want to tank up before they reach Bangalore. And at the same time, the other part of the expressway towards Chennai has got into a lot of hurdles, and from what I've been reading, I do not think we will be able to see the fully functional expressway towards Chennai, especially the Tamil Nadu side. So it is going to take some time. So you would have noticed it when I just took the exit towards my left to enter the Baireddipalle Bangalore section. So the blockage was for the Chennai part, not for the Bangalore. So it's all functional. So ever since I started this drive from STRR, precisely near the Devanhalli DC office, I haven't turned off the ignition. Just continued to drive all the way till the end of expressway at Baireddipalle, and then drove maybe about 6 to 8 kilometers on the Krishnagiri Venkatagirikota highway. Then made a U-turn at one of the villages, started driving back. Now we are on the way back, and as you can notice here, we've done about 133 kilometers in about 1.4 hours. I mean, there's no traffic here, and I've been mostly cruising at 100 to 105 kilometers an hour. So ever since I started this drive from STRR, precisely near the Devanhalli DC office, I haven't turned off the ignition. Just continued to drive all the way till the end of expressway at Baireddipalle, and then drove maybe about 6 to 8 kilometers on the Krishnagiri Venkatagirikota highway. Then made a U-turn at one of the villages, started driving back, got back to this highway again at Baireddipalle, sorry. And now we are on the way back, and as you can notice here, we've done about 133 kilometers in about 1.4 hours. I mean, there's no traffic here, and I've been mostly cruising at 100 to 105 kilometers an hour. So we are now almost reaching a point where the section from Venkatagirikota to Bangalore was functional. So you can see these interchanges, and I think from there for the next 70 kilometers would be the same highway back to Bangalore. So this is the plight of our expressway, rather the plight of how we follow rules. Look at those two trucks. They have no business to stay on the right lane. Not that they are on the right lane now. They actually have been driving on the right lane since a while. I've noticed them. And this is an access controlled highway. I can understand when truckers say that they face a lot of hardships while navigating towns and villages where there's a lot of traffic on the right side, on the left side, sorry, and hence they keep to the right side so that they have seamless momentum. But unfortunately, that's not the case here with the truckers. They still continue to hog the right lane for whatever reasons. Look at the truck which just overtook these two, right? It's again back to the right lane. He has no reason to stick to the median, at least on this access control road. I mean, there's nobody that is going to disturb him, like a two-wheeler or a bus that would suddenly stop in the middle of the road, like it happens on the regular national highways. So yeah, can't help. I have seen videos where even on the Delhi-Mumbai Expressway, which is 4+4 lane, the truckers actually hog all the 4 lanes, right, and going at speeds less than 80 or even at times lesser than 60, and it's a lot of hardship for cars to overtake them, because they would continue going together for kilometers and you would not get a chance to pass them. And if you have to do it, then you'll have to cut between different lanes depending on which truck is moving little faster, so the gap is getting created for you, right? But that's how bad the state of affairs are on our expressway today. Something has to be done for sure on this in the future. Otherwise, no matter what kind of expressway we get, the trucks will continue to hog the right lane. And not just trucks, I mean, like I was explaining earlier, even the cars for that matter, they should not be driving on the right lane. If they want to cruise, just stick to the left for all the reasons I mentioned earlier, and use the right lane only for the purpose of overtaking, and then again get back to your driving lane, which would be the center lane in case of a 3+3 lane highway, or the left lane like this, the way I'm driving right now. So I couldn't record earlier, but here is another example where you have 2 slow moving vehicles on both the lanes, and there were 2 cars just a few seconds back which were not having space to pass these 2 vehicles because they were driving parallel, and due to this the cars used the shoulder lane to overtake. And I think once this highway becomes fully operational all the way till Chennai, you will have a lot of trucks using this road for the purpose of efficiency, right, in terms of saving time and the seamless connectivity that it offers. Now when that happens, since this highway is just 2+2 lanes, it will hardly leave any room for cars to overtake if these trucks continue to drive the way they are, hogging both the lanes. And eventually cars will start using the shoulder to overtake. Classic example of this is the road between Ahmedabad and Vadodara or Baroda, right? That's National Expressway 1. If this is 7, that is 1, which means that was the first expressway for India, right? And that's about 97 kilometers between Ahmedabad and Baroda. And you would notice even on that highway that cars end up using the shoulders to overtake. It was never the case like that on this highway. When I say on this highway, on the National Expressway 1 between Ahmedabad and Baroda, it was a very systematic highway where you would always see the slow moving traffic being driven on the left hand side. And I still remember driving on that road as early as 2010 and 11, where even if you just flash your lights to overtake or indicate an intent to overtake, the vehicle would just move left and make way for you. Well, that's not the case there anymore, I would say, since 2014 or 15, because the highway has become busier or has got busier, and there is no other option but overtake from the shoulder. So we're reaching the end of the expressway, approaching the toll booth, which is about a kilometer ahead. You can see that. I'm going to pull over here just to see what's the kind of mileage I have got for driving so far. When I turn off the ignition, it's going to give me a summary of the kilometers driven and the mileage that I got. So we'll just see that once I pull over soon after the toll booth, somewhere safer. Yeah. So I don't think I'll be stopping here because there is a car on my left, and I don't want to just simply pull over to my left and block him while he's picking up speeds. So we have reached the end of the expressway. We are at Hosakote, and I don't have to take any exit here. because I'm headed towards Doddaballapura, which means I continue on the same road where the STRR begins. And then of course I will be driving on this for a while, say about 30 to 35 kilometers till Doddaballapur bypass, and from there I'll take the exit for Doddaballapur industrial area and reach Yelahanka. So we just reached home. Let me check the stats from the drive today. Yeah, so from the point I reset this, which was at the beginning of the STRR, it's about 274 kilometers that we've driven in 3 hours and 47 minutes. This was non-stop because I didn't stop anywhere, although I intended to in between. And then let me turn off the engine. We will get to see what's the mileage that we got for this entire trip. Yeah, so for 273.7 kilometers we got about 18.8 indicated. I've checked a couple of times. In reality also it doesn't differ much, maybe a couple of points here and there, but just about the number that shows on the screen.